Hey everybody, this is Captain Frugal reporting for duty, giving you my weekly comic book review. So sit back and enjoy. Alright everybody, for those of you that know the drill, I go over a bunch of comic books for the week that I chose to read. Now I didn't have time to read everything, so if I missed something you think I should have read, let me know in the comments below. Also, you may disagree with me on some of my choices. If that's the case, that's alright. Let me know below. Let's just try to keep it civil. My goal is to bring back the old schoolyard days, where we would be in discussing what hero could beat who or what comic book was good and not. And I come armed with my trusty notes, so you'll hear the paper rattle because I do it a little bit old school. I do my grading on a scale of 0 through 10, 7 being average as a 70%. So I'm using schoolyard grading. But that's not all. I also use the League of Comics Geeks to give you other people's views as well as a brief overview of the comic book as well. So let's jump right in. Well, welcome everybody for my next weekly comic book review. Now, if there's one that I missed that you think I should read, don't be afraid to let me know and share. That's one of the things, if you are new to this channel that maybe you don't know, I try to build a community here. We can have disagreements on things, just try to keep it civil because, that's what it's like. Go to the comic shop, we have disagreements on what books we like, which ones we don't like. I think that's part of the fun with this, is that we can share that here. So let's dive right into the Birds of Prey issue number 13. With this book, 99 out of 104 liked it with a 3.8 average rating on League of Comics Geeks, which is a lot higher than I thought it deserved. I gave it a 7 out of 10. Yeah, a whole 7 out of 10. I don't know why people are giving this one such a high score. The writer's Kelly Thompson, artist is Gavin Goodry, which I probably butchered. It says, what nightmares await the Birds of Prey through the final portal? Yep, that's the end of this story arc. With the search for Barbara finally over, Cass leads the Birds of Prey through the portal one final time. And where they end up is a world far too familiar. The last page, the last part of this story is, and it's okay. I think this story was a little bit boring. It's mediocre, and the coloring style, though, I think is what's going wrong with it, in my opinion. As I look over it, I don't hate the art, but I don't think the coloring fits very well. As a matter of fact, I want you to take a moment to look at this page here, page 8. Look at how this artist draws Vixen. Maybe I was too kind to the art style when I talk about that, because this doesn't do Vixen any justice. The cover I didn't think was that good on this issue either. It is decent action in this issue, but it is closure for the story. So if you're interested in reading Birds of Prey, you might want to wait till issue 14 to give it a try. Once again, I didn't think it was anything too special, but hey, it is what it is. The next issue I want to talk about is the Justice Society of America issue number 11. 53 out of 62 liked it with a 3.5 average rating, which is pretty close to what I gave it because I gave it a 7.2. The writer's Jeff Johns, the artist is Marco Santucci, which I probably butchered. The Legionnaires' plan has came together. Yep, the Legionnaires' plan comes together, but what does this mean for the future of the Justice Society? Well, that's why you need to read this book. I think it's a pretty cool cover. Not bad. I found it interesting. There's some neat alternate covers as well. Good art in this issue, in my opinion. There was a nice splash double page fight, which was scene that was quite nice. But Eclipso makes a dramatic appearance in this issue. Pretty cool dramatic entrance, I might add. This issue has good action. It has a decent story ending to this arc. Now, if you are interested in the Justice Society, I would wait till next issue because it looks like we're going to have a new team and a new story starting next issue. So unless you want to go back and collect what you've missed, you might want to wait till the next one. It's been an okay series. Nothing I'd run out and say, hey, you have to get, but we'll see what happens next issue because I do plan on checking it out as well. Now, this next issue I want to talk about is one that I do not think is getting the attention that it deserves. And that's Get Fury issue number 5. 34 out of 36 liked it with a 4.1 average rating on League of Comics Geeks, and you know what? That's actually just a smidge higher than I gave it because I gave it a solid 8. The writer is Garth Ennis. The inker is Gerardo Ortega, which I butchered. That's the inker. I don't know why I mentioned the inker. The penciler is Jason Burrows. No offense to the inker, just for the record. And just when you think things couldn't get worse, boy, woo, Frank Punisher gets to none other than Nick Fury to get him out, and boy is he beaten down and bloodied. This book has good art, good characterization, and a solid story. I also think the pacing has been rather good in this too. Punisher fans, I think, would really enjoy this series. Same with Nick Fury fans. As I've mentioned before, and I'm going to mention again, Marvel has been doing these two characters a great injustice, just treating them terrible. But this book gets it. This writer gets it. This is good. I would strongly suggest checking it out. If you have not been and you're a Punisher fan, you should. Let's support books like this, so that way maybe Marvel will get the idea and bring these characters back. Hey guys, today's video is sponsored by My Wallet. Yeah, I'm not trying to push any kind of wallet or pimp any wallet out. What I mean is it's sponsored by my personal wallet and the cash that comes out of it to pay for these things. If you want to help with this, you can hit like, subscribe, that notification bell. Those are great ways to get started. But if you find yourself in a position where you can help the channel more, we have a Patreon and a subscribe star down below that you can click on those links. And for as little as $1 a month, you'll have special videos and things to just you, music that you can get. Or maybe if you wanted to, a one-time donation just to help out, we have a Streamlabs link down below. Or we also have, if you go to the Patreon shop, you could buy a song for like $3. I wish I could put them a little lower, but that's the minimum they allow for that. So there's lots of options. Sometimes you might even see an Amazon link. If you want to buy anything through Amazon, click on my link first, then go through there. That'll give me a couple pennies, possibly that way too as well. So there's lots of ways you can help out the channel, because without you, it would not be possible. So thank you everybody. And let's get back to the video. The next issue I want to talk about, I have to say, I found disappointing, and that's Marvel Zombies Dawn of Decay, issue number 1. 22 out of 28 liked it, with a 3.4 average rating, which doesn't lead me to believe a lot of people are picking this up. Now, I did give it a 7.5, and the more I think about it, I probably gave it a higher score than what it deserves. Writer is Thomas Krajewski, artist is Jason Murr, and I probably butchered those names. Anyway, we have Rocket and Groot. They've been captured because they were trying to get a weapon. There's some silliness there of why they were doing it, but that was just to get those characters involved here with the Avengers. And Captain America pretty much tells Groot that he's disappointed in him, and Groot's got a cold. Yep, a cold. And he sneezes in Captain America's face. And then all of a sudden that creates him turning Captain America into a zombie, and then Captain America continues to bite other Avengers and they become zombified, and Groot escapes with Bruce Banner, and they have to figure out how to cure all these people because, well, after they got out of the Quinjet and some time passed, pretty much everybody's zombified now, and they have to figure out what to do. The thing is I just found this, well, a relaxing read, if you will, but it was just too corny, a little too goofy. The art is not great either. It looks a little amateurish. The story is off to a decent start, but as I said, I don't know. I'm thinking Marvel Zombies, if they get a little bit more serious. I will check out next issue, but not the greatest. The cover I didn't think was anything great. I don't know, maybe it's the art style that's throwing me off. It's not quite doing it for me to what I think this book should do. I gave it a 7.5, and I think I probably gave it a higher score than what I should have. If I maybe sit back and think about it more, it'd probably actually lose some score. If you read this one, I'd really like to know your perspective on it. The next one I read was The Incredible Hulk number 16, where 65 out of 71 liked it with a 3.9 average rating on League of Comics Geeks, which I gave it a 6.9. I didn't think it was that good, to be honest with you. I did not agree with them. The writer is Philip Kennedy Johnson, and the artist is Danny Earls. Yeah, the first Hulk versus the eldest. This is the lead into the conclusion. They say it's the conclusion of this, and it sort of is, but I don't... Boy, I'm not digging it. I just didn't dig this. It had mediocre art. The story pacing of this storyline was way too slow. While this issue, in my opinion, the whole issue could have been condensed into just a few pages. They really overdid it here, and I'm really losing desire to keep reading the storyline. It isn't doing it for me. It's sort of interesting. They're going more into the Green Door, but it was just boring. Yeah, and so we get more of this eldest and their plans. I just didn't get it. This is another one that maybe I'm just not the target audience. I'm missing the mark. Another one I'd really like to know your thoughts on. Did you enjoy it? Am I just, in this case, maybe the old man yelling at clouds, It's just not good. It's not good. But maybe you liked it. The next one I read was Absolute Power issue number 3, where 254 out of 270 liked it with a 4 average rating on League of Comics. Just let me guess that this miniseries is selling pretty well. I gave it a 7.6. So, not bad. And just to be fair, that is with Mark Waid here writing. I'm trying to keep my bias out of this for this dickbag. And Dan Mora is the artist. This is the last stand on Paradise Island. Our heroes have been on the run. Yeah, absolutely. They've been devastated. Their power's taken. The Superman's headquarters has been in ruin. They just keep losing. And Amanda Waller, using her team with Failsafe and the Brainiac Queen, tend to be continuing to win. There seems to be no way the Resistance can win, but can they? Well, we're going to get more of a fight back, more of a push here, but you'll have to read to find out more. Mark Waid, I think in this one, taps into his inner Donald Trump. Yeah, believe it or not, this guy who sits there and whines and complains so much, I think he picked up some good lessons from Donald Trump on page number 22 of this issue. Yeah, because, we need to fight. We need to fight. Yeah, it reminds me of Donald Trump when I read this. Decent art, decent pacing, and this miniseries, if you will, is close to an end. So you might want to wait for it in trade. I will say I've been enjoying it. I don't think it's been a bad read. If you've been reading it, let me know what you think too as well. All right, let's take a little shift from Marvel and break out the guns. Yes. Well, not too many guns. Actually, there's more swordplay in this, but it's Scarlet, issue number 4. 61 out of 62 liked it with a 4.1 average rating, and I gave it a 7.2, so not as high as they did, but I do feel that this was a solid book in the series. Writer is Kelly Thompson. Artist is Marco Ferrari. Scarlet has infiltrated this base, and she's got in there to extract Jinx, but we find out that maybe Jinx needs to stay there, and there's, some sadness there and what's going on. It's been a pretty interesting series. We've got Storm Shadow in this too, so if you're a big fan of that, hey, check it out. Scarlet and Storm Shadow, come on, and Jinx, great. Decent art, good action in this issue, good characterization, solid pacing, fun story, really. Though I will say there's not a whole lot of story progression in this particular issue, but there is some, as I say, good characterization there. And here's the thing. It looks like we might get Cobra Commander in the next issue. I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to be checking out this issue number 5, when it comes out from Image, and I think you might too. For any G.I. Joe fan, you should be checking this out. To be honest with you, even if you're not a G.I. Joe fan, I think this book could stand on its own, and you should be checking it out. The next book I want to talk about is going back to Marvel. Yep. And that's Daredevil, number 13. 70 out of 84 liked it with a 3.5 average rating on League of Comics Geeks, and I gave this book a 7.2, so I didn't think it was bad. The writer is Salman, the artist is Chris Capana, and long last, the lovers quarrel. Yes, the two Daredevils, Elektra. And you see there's an issue there. I mean, it's been brewing in this. When Matt didn't exactly tell her that he came back, I could see why she's a bit pissed. Yeah, and then we have none other than the Kingpin, but he's seeking redemption. Pretty interesting. With all that said, and we still have the boy that knows who Daredevil's secret identity is away, and that's going to cause a problem. Good cover art in this issue. I really like the cover art in this. There's some interesting alternative covers too for it, but the interior art, in my opinion, could be better. This is one of those deals where you go to the comic shop, I think, and you grab a book because the cover looks cool, and you look at the art on the inside and it doesn't match. That's what I got here. Though it is an interesting story, and I'm interested to see. Daredevil's got to save this child that also, by the way, not just knows his identity, but hates him for it because he blames him for something else that has happened in his life. I think this is interesting, a good story direction, good characterization in this. I am enjoying Daredevil. If you haven't been reading it and you're a Daredevil fan, you probably should give it a shot. Maybe even if you're just interested in checking out Daredevil. Even though this is not your most traditional Daredevil, with him not being a lawyer, I think it's still worth a good check it out and see what your thoughts are on it. I'd be interested to hear what you have to say about it. The next issue I want to talk about has been selling like gangbusters, and that's the Ultimates issue number 4. 477 out of 488 liked it with a 4.6 average rating on League of Comics Geeks. Holy cow. That's a lot higher than I gave it, though. I gave it a 7.7, but don't take me wrong here. I have been enjoying this series. It's one of the best things to come out right now, I think, on the shelves. It has some really interesting alternate covers as well. The writer is Den's Camp. Artist is Phil Noto, which I probably butchered both of those. Anyway, we have the fate of the Ultimate Fantastic Four in this issue. It doesn't really move the story forward much, but we get a lot more into this different version of Reed Richards as Doctor Doom. Yeah, we get a little bit of peek into his background and why, what he's struggling through, why he is doomed now, why he has become Doctor Doom. Yes, there's a little bit of tension between him as well as Iron Man, Tony Stark, and that makes it interesting too. But this is really cool. Because unlike in our main continuity universe, the other people that went with Reed Richards on that ship that day that gave them their powers from the cosmic rays actually ended up killing them, all but him, and he's struggling with that. I think this is really good, decent story. As I said, didn't really move the story forward much, but you get a lot of great insight into Reed Richards and into why he became Doctor Doom. I think this is one that you should be checking out. Now to wrap up this with just one more issue left that I want to talk about, and that's Batman issue 152. 144 out of 158 liked it with a 3.9 average rating, and I gave the book a 7, so probably not as high. Chip Zdarsky is the writer on this one. The penciler is Mike Hawthorne. Batman and Catwoman join forces. Yep, they did. Remember last issue they came to get that, the Absolute Power tie-in issue here where they got to go and get that MacGuffin. At least I think it's going to be the MacGuffin for that. This issue is definitely an Absolute Power tie-in. So if you're not into Absolute Power, you'll probably skip this issue of Batman. It won't have much of a connection to you because it's directly related to that. And their goal is to stop Amanda Waller's plans here, and it's dangerous. They're going against the Suicide Squad. Things happen, some calamity ensues. Will they live to fight another day? You need to read this issue. Now, there's another thing too, though. There is also a Birds of Prey side backup story in this. So there's another story. So here's my thoughts. Let's first talk about the Batman part. The Batman part is action-filled, but the art style is, in my opinion, not that good. I didn't care for the art style in this issue. Once again, too, if you are not reading Absolute Power, there's no point of you reading this issue. But if you're reading Absolute Power, it is a direct tie-in, so check it out because they're going to get that MacGuffin if they can. Now let's talk about the secondary story, though. This was about the Birds of Prey, and it had much better art in the secondary story than the Batman story. But here's the kicker. I think that this story should have been in the Birds of Prey issue. I suspect that maybe this is to get Batman readers to want to pick up Birds of Prey as a marketing ploy, because really it didn't have any bearing being in this book other than it has an Absolute Power tie-in. But so why wasn't this in the Birds of Prey book? That's my question there. I gave the issue a 7. As I said, didn't hate it, just didn't care for the art and thought it was okay. So that's what I read. Here are my notes. Go a little old school. Thank you everybody for your time. I want to, let's break out that old comic shop discussion here. Share your thoughts, what you read, what you liked, what you didn't like. That's cool. All that. Tell me how I shouldn't have read a book by Waid. That's fine. As I said, I'm trying to be objective here. Not always easily done. Okay. And as I said, for a guy that claims he hates Trump so much, he sure took a page right out of Trump's book there. But hey, I think that's sort of funny. So I hope you all enjoyed this. Thank these people here, because without these people, this channel would not be possible. I mean, if they are producers of this, they continue to help and support this channel. They are amazing. And some of them have channels too, so check them out. Thank you everybody for your time, and until next time, keep it frugal.